Hi, this is Jim Starkweather, the publisher of Kitmaker Network and Armorama.com, and welcome to another episode of Turning the Page. Today we've got for you a nuts and bolts. This one is volume 35, and pardon my bastardization of German here, but I'm going to call this Büssing, schwere, Pz.Spähwagen Part 1. And it's got quite a few other little, basic, specific call-outs here for the STKFC 231, 232, 8 rads. So this is by Holger Erdmann, and the series itself is always listed here: Heiner F. Dusk, Tony Greenland, and Detlev Trollsten. So this is a softcover book with a flat binding here. It is 200, sorry, my eyes are failing me. They use really small print for the page numbers, I believe. Yeah, about 200 pages. Let's go ahead and take a look at the table of contents. Got some of Tony Greenland's work. These books are unique in that they have a bit of modeling content in them, as well as the research and various reference content. Actually, there is no table of contents now that I think about it. But they do basically go into an introduction section here. The pages are broke down into half English, half German. So basically you get the English here, the German here. I've read through these before, and they are very good in terms of their translation. So that's definitely not an issue, because they obviously probably were originally written in German. So they're translated into English. But you can see a lot of text, a lot of information, talking about things like the armored superstructure, very detailed. Because of the clever design, the armored superstructure was proof against 7.92mm SMK ammunition up to a distance of 30 meters by a minimum total weight. This was reached by the angular arrangement of the welded armor plates. So very specific information that extends way beyond just obviously modeling. So military historians, people like that, obviously probably find these books very interesting or very factual. So here's a page section with just a bunch of table type data here. Everything down to gears, lowest speeding gears, and steering, main brakes. Yeah, just a lot of stuff. Flipping through really quickly, you can see just there's some original technical diagram drawings here, or illustrations. Unit breakdowns, basically just everything you'd ever want to know about these units, most likely. Not having read the book, I can't promise that, but basically, yeah, the 200 pages of specific vehicles like this is a lot of information. Now, of course, the center sections do have a lot of photos, these black and white reference photos from the time period, as well as probably some modern reference photos from existing vehicles will be interdispersed. A lot of these photos have captions, again, both in English and German, showing, like this one says, in late 1942, 2 Panzer Division was transported to the Eastern Front as a reinforcement unit. It was assembled in the area of Roslavi, but some wheeled elements were unloaded in Smolensk. The STKFC 232 of 1 Panzer Schwere of, and then in parentheses, of the disbanded Panzer AFV 5 was destroyed in the area of Smolensk. Either it drove over a mine during the march, or it was destroyed during combat against Soviet forces. So, obviously very specific, again, information. These guys are experts on these vehicles, so yeah, I would say the nuts and bolts books are definitely up there in terms of, there's some line art drawings, obviously, in the middle as well. But yeah, and some illustrations of vehicles, and then here are the modern reference photos of existing vehicles today, survivors, and so forth. So, that's pretty much the format of these books. And then the last section, again, is a modeling section with Vinnie Brannigan's STKFC 232. For those of you who know Armorama's back history, you'll know why I found that funny. Just interesting work, and nice job there, Vinnie. So, anyways, check the books out. They're not the super cheap in terms of what you're going to find these for. It will be a little difficult to lay your hands on. They're not going to be laying around in every store corner, in other words. But yeah, they're I'll try to remember to look up the pricing on these and put it in the review on our site. But yeah, they're reasonably priced for a softcover reference book with this much background research and photos and so forth. So that's about as sterling a recommendation as I can usually give something, being that I actually haven't read it and I'm not an expert on this vehicle myself. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview. I hope you are, give me some feedback if you're appreciating this new video format. We actually released our last issue on a magazine, Turning the Page, and it was in 4K. Probably nobody knows that, but it isn't actually in 4K. It's whatever the camera will support, but I did output it in as high a resolution as our software and the camera would support, so hopefully that came out decently. But anyways, we'll see you next time, and please leave comments and feedback and all that good stuff. And again, thanks to the publisher for sending us this copy for review. And it will be available for a full written review if someone's interested in doing that. You can contact me at publisher@kitmaker.net. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Turning the Page.